Hello everybody. Good morning. So I sent an email to my list yesterday talking about why you think you have a visibility problem, but you really don't. You actually have an authority and trust problem. So how to actually build your authority and your trust so you actually start making more sales now. Because if you had a huge audience right now, would they actually be buying from you? So the fact that they are not buying from you, that is telling you that it's not a visibility problem. So I was polling my people last week and I asked them, what do you think that is the biggest problem that you have right now to get you to your goals? And a lot of people said visibility. So then I go to their content and you don't have a visibility problem. You have an authority and a trust problem. So I sent this email and I was like, okay, I gave people 2 ways that you can actually solve these. And I was like, I would love to go live and actually go into this in depth. So I'm going to go into how to build trust and how to build authority so the people that are already seeing you actually start buying from you. Because guys, this is the thing though. I build a multiple 6-figure business. Right now, we're about to get to 4,000 followers. That's a tiny fucking audience, okay, for what Instagram is. But last year, I was at like 3,000 people, right? And we made 300K. So it's not a visibility problem. You do not have a visibility problem. You don't have an algorithm problem. You do not have a content problem. And that could be something for a different conversation. But if the people that you have in your audience doesn't trust you as an authority, they're not going to buy from you. It doesn't matter what you do, they're not going to buy from you, okay? So let's actually talk about how you do these in these 2 ways, okay? And I have notes in here because I want to make sure that I'm giving you something super juicy. And if you're watching, grab a pen and a piece of paper because you're going to want to take action on these, okay? So number 1, you want to develop an on and offline strategy specifically for your ideal client. Now, this is the thing. I talk about on and offline all the time because I personally do not believe, and I will bet and I will put my hands on fire for this, a lot of the people that you are watching and a lot of the people that you're looking up on the online world, they're also building relationships in person, okay? If you know me in person, you know that here in Vegas, and I travel all over the country speaking, I do connection calls with people, I do coffee chats with people, so we are building relationships, okay? Because when you have an online and offline strategy that is developed specifically for your ideal client, you actually are maximizing your efforts. And this is where I'm saying you don't have a visibility problem, okay? You have an authority and a trust problem. Because if you had, 10,000 more followers right now, it wouldn't make a difference if they're not buying from you. So it's not an audience problem, okay? Now, when I say build an online and offline strategy, the biggest thing that I'm talking about is you positioning yourself as this authority, pursuing speaking events, pursuing teaching, pursuing you making posts that actually stop, what is the word that I'm looking for? Convincing your people and actually are activating people. So a lot of you, and I have been, hello, my name is Ati, and I was guilty of this. I would go through my old content and I feel like a lot of my content was convincing people, right? Like, oh, like talking from a place of like beating around the bush. This is the thing. if you are not talking from a place of power, and this is really telling people things like they are, like me telling you, girl, more followers right now is not going to solve anything if the ones that you have are not buying from you. Okay. So when you position yourself as that authority and you really start talking about your opinions on the topics that you are an expert and why the things people are doing are not working, and you're doing this online and offline, there is a magic that happens. And I'm actually going to paint a picture for you. I do a lot of in-person stuff. So something that happens is I build relationships with people. I don't even like offer my services when I'm talking with people. I am building relationships. I'm being a person. Me also particularly, I like doing this from a place of we are all fucking equal, no matter where we are in business. Okay. So if you are 2 steps behind me or you are 2 steps ahead, that doesn't matter. We all can learn from everybody. Okay. So then I go and I talk to my ideal client only on my social media. I don't do frou-frou content. I used to do this a lot of inspiring content. This is the thing. Well, you want to be inspiring. You want to make sure that your people fucking knows that you can solve their problem and how they can work with you. If you're not making sales right now, it's because you are being frou-frou, my friend. You are being like, yay, you got this. While we all want to like help our people to feel inspired and bring positivity into the online world, the way you change the world is through your services. So if people don't know how they can work with you, hello, girlfriend, you're not going to make any money. You're not going to change the world. And your clients most likely are going to stay stuck. Okay. A lot of people think, oh, but they're going to go buy from somebody else. That's not necessarily truth, because you have a way to deliver your message that is absolutely different than anybody else. The way you talk, the way you tell your story, the way you tell everything that brought you here is the reason why people might buy from you, and they may never buy from somebody else. And that may leave that person never solving their fucking problem. The problem you were born to actually solve. Okay, so let's come back to one of the 2 ways. So developing an on and offline strategy designed specifically for your ideal client that is repeatable. Okay, I'm gonna get into that in a second. So you can build upon it and bring steady flow of clients on repeat. So what am I referring to this? Many of you are coming on social media and you're just posting and hoping. When I say a strategy is, okay, so this is an example. I know that I want to be at least in one event, one panel, one speaking engagement a month, okay? From there, I make sure that these events are specifically where my ideal client is hanging out. Now, if you are still thinking, oh, but I can help everybody. Oh, I can help a big portion of the population. Or you're like, I'm not really clear who my ideal client is. And this comes down to you understanding their problem to the very fucking core. Okay. So if I would come in here and I would tell you, build a personal brand, and I don't know your problems, it won't solve your problem because I'm not talking to it. I know that my ideal client is struggling with sales, is struggling to be seen as an authority. They're not getting invitations to like speak, to podcast, to all the things that you actually think that are your problem. But the problem is deeper than that, because you're not even making sales from your content. You're not making sales when you're talking to people. People don't even know how they can work with you. Okay. So again, if the strategy is not specifically designed for your ideal client, red flag right there. Okay. Now, the other thing is this strategy needs to be able to be repeatable. An example of this is I'm going to give you my example because this is what I can talk on. We have a boot camp that we host every quarter. okay? We also host mini trainings. We also host, and we do these paid, free, in person, online. So you can look at your year, your month, whatever it is, and you can say, this is what I'm going to do is repeatable in order to bring clients into my social media, into my products, into my containers. Now, this is the thing. Most people are not going to buy right away. And I want you to know this. Most people are going to wait a little bit to buy because they need to see you as an authority. This is where you presenting yourself on stage, building those relationships with other people, and really presenting your opinions on the matter, it's going to accelerate the process. Because the moment people see you as an authority and they know, because they heard from you, that you can solve their problem, they will start asking for the link. They will start asking, hey, I saw you posted about X, Y, and Z. How can this help me? Hey, this is what I'm going through. Is this container something that actually can work for me? And this is the thing. You build trust through consistency on your message. Okay? Consistency on your message. And this is where a lot of people fall flat. You talk about one thing one day, you talk about another thing one day, and don't even get me started with the people that actually are convinced that they are putting content out there and all they're doing is sharing stuff to their stories. Guys, I go and I look at my followers' accounts. Literally, a lot of you that you're watching right now, I have been watching your accounts. And I go there and your last post is from a week ago. That doesn't build trust because that doesn't talk business. That doesn't say I'm a business owner. That says I'm all over the place. That says I'm not current. That says I can trust you. And people forget about you because you're not top of mind. So if you're not talking about the problem that you solve, how do you want people to buy from you? And I don't know you, but about a year ago, I made a decision that I was going to show up on my social media and sell every single day in a way or another. I'm going to tell you why. Because through my products and through my service is how I actually help people. Okay? If you're not in my world and I'm not coaching you, I can't help you. So I know that in order for me to change the world and have the impact that I want to make, I want to help 100,000 women to have a strong, profitable personal brands that change the world. So how am I going to get to 100,000 women if they're not in my world, right? That is through building trust and authority. Okay, so we talked about developing the on and offline strategy that is repeatable and that you can actually build upon it. Now, what does this mean is you may start with just one offer. Just one offer. You do not need to sell a million things. When I first started coaching and I added coaching to my photography, I was selling one-on-one coaching and I was selling photography services. And we also had the membership, but that was just photography services, right? And all I did was to talk about all those options. Once the Be Your Brand Academy was born, I started talking about the Be Your Brand Academy, and I was threading all of that through my genius, which is personal branding. I've been doing personal branding for 20 years, okay? So, number 2 is you're gonna shift and tweak your content so it positions you as an expert and speaks to the heart of the problem of your person. So I touch on this on step 1, but this is the thing. You are right now being so broad about the problem that your person is experiencing that, and I've been there. I used to talk about it's so hard to create content if you don't know to create content. But this is the thing. That's not the problem that I solve. The problem that I solve is I help my clients become sought after so they can stop chasing and they can start attracting. And I do this by teaching them how to build a profitable personal brand. We talk about offers, we talk about content, we talk about all the things, right? So this is where you need to start getting clear and doing market research and talking to your client. Talk to your client, do market research, send them forms, get on connection calls. I get on coffee chats all the time. I survey my students. Hey, where were you where you started? Why did you join? Where did you feel lost when it came to your business? So this is the thing. Until you don't build authority and trust through a strategy that is specifically designed to your ideal client, and you keep talking to everybody, people are not going to come to your social media and be like, oh my God, I want to be on her world, right? Because they don't even know how you can help them. So I want to leave this out there. We are hosting a 5-day personal branding bootcamp. And this is my signature low ticket training that we put together every quarter. Now, in this training, literally on day one, we're going to go through how do you actually build a personal brand strategy and the reason why you're still struggling, right? Part of that is authority and trust, but it's not everything. Day 2, we're going to talk specifically about your ideal client. How do you actually learn? What is their problem? How do you actually get in their head? I want you to think about this. Have you ever seen on my content or maybe another creator's content, another coach, and you were like, oh my God, she's in my head? It's because we are doing market research, friend. And if you don't know how to make market research, literally, we teach how to do that inside of our academy. But the thing is, without a strategy that actually positions you as an authority and people know, like, and trust you, boom, when they see you, because the moment you speak to their heart, they know that you're the person for them. They know that you understand their problem and you have a solution. So this is where most of you are trying to pump content, and the content is not even good. Okay. So I'm going to do another live on that between like what is actually posting and what is content. But if you are ready to actually build a strong, profitable personal brand that gets you paid, we can work on your offers. We can talk about lead generation, that your offers all lead so people stay in your world and they want to work with you. Literally, this bootcamp is for you. And this is the door to other different ways of working with me. But the bootcamp is the first step because the bootcamp is going to ignite you. Right? It's going to give you that knowledge that you need to be like, oh, okay, now I understand why my content is not performing. Now I understand why I'm not being seen as an authority. Okay. So the bootcamp is happening April 22nd. It's already open for registration. And I actually have a mini training tomorrow on email marketing because this is the thing, you guys. This is how you build trust and how you build authority is by creating this ecosystem. And there is so many layers to it that I want to give you the tools for you to understand where you are right now stuck and why are people not seeing you as this authority and they don't trust you. So that's why they're not reaching out to you with like, hey, how can I work with you? Hey, what do you do that can help me with this particular problem? Okay. So I hope you enjoy this. If you're here, if you're live, can you drop me an emoji and tell me did you love this live and do you have any questions? So I'm actually going to answer, somebody put in the comments, or let me see, because this follows a comment that you did before. Let me see. You just put in there, or just not make content. Yes. So Jessica, one of the things is paralysis by analysis. The thing is, in order for people to see you as an authority, you need to have what is the word that I'm looking for? You need to be certain. You need to be certain of the things that you're putting out there. You need to be educating your people, but not just being like, oh, here are 3 things. No, here are 3 things. And here's, if this was helpful, that means you need me. If this was helpful, this means that my work is for you, right? Because this is the thing. How many of you, put it on the chat, please, are you scared of telling people my work is for you if you're struggling with this, and this, right? So, Polanska, thank you. Molly, thank you. Drop the word bootcamp if you want the link to our upcoming training. This is the thing, you guys. I'm going to tell you this with all the love. You're going to stay in the same place over and over and over until people see you as an authority. And this is the reason why you're not making sales right at this very moment. Because people see you, they think of you, right? But they don't think that you can solve their problem. And I know when I work with my people, they start seeing results right away. You know why? Because we tweak their content, we create a strategy so they can implement right away, and they can talk in powerful language. So you stop convincing people, and you actually start talking to people that are ready to fucking invest because they're over the fucking problem. So if you are over not having clients, not making sales, and you want people to start reaching out to you, guys, personal branding is the way to go. Because personal branding is about building authority and trust. So drop an emoji, drop the word bootcamp if you are ready to really understand what the steps of building a personal brand are. We're going to be building your personal brand live through the bootcamp on 5 days. This is April 22nd. And if you're not registered for the email marketing 101 training that happens tomorrow, drop email so I can send you that. Now, these are 2 completely different trainings. The email marketing bootcamp is free, it's tomorrow, it's 60 minutes. And the personal branding bootcamp happens April 22nd. It starts at $17 with a few different options. And I can't wait to see you there. Bye, you guys.